let me bring in Congressman Dan Kildee of Michigan. Congressman, good to have you with us tonight.
Thank you, Ed.
I want to point out that your state of Michigan, NAFTA cost your home state of Michigan over 43,000 jobs. Why would the TPP be any different?
Well, it won't be. I mean, we have seen this, and I was disappointed in the Washington Post editorial saying that NAFTA allegedly cost us jobs. Come to my hometown of Flint, Michigan. When NAFTA was passed, we had 50,000 auto workers in Flint. Today, we've got about 6,000 or 7,000. It didn't work out. We've heard these promises that these free trade agreements will open up other markets for our products. In exchange, we open our markets. But what has been the result? The result is we end up competing with countries that have labor standards that are nowhere near ours, environmental standards that are nothing like ours. And the problem with TPP is that we're being asked to sort of buy a pig in a poke. Trust us. The problem with it is, even if the agreement has the so-called high standards platform where labor and environmental obligations are higher, unless we have an enforcement mechanism that allows us to make sure we punish those who violate, we're going to be in the same boat that we're in right now.
Congressman,
where we see Japan.
I think the American people understand numbers. I think the American people understand charts. My old friend Kent Conrad from North Dakota was the chairman of the Senate Budget Committee. He was famous for bringing charts to the floor and showing everybody what these numbers were actually going to do. How come the proponents of the TPP and these free trade agreements haven't brought any charts to the floor to show the American people the real numbers about what it's going to do? How is it that we can point to your state of Michigan and say this is what the automobile loan did for our industry, the automobile industry, yet we can't get that with any of the trade agreements? Where are the numbers?
Well, it's frustrating. Not only do we not have numbers, we really don't even have a lot of the detail about what is in the proposed agreement. I mean, we can look at pieces of it, but what we're being asked to do is not just not see the charts, but not see the actual agreement grant to this administration, and I support the president, don't get me wrong. On this question, we part company. But granting to the administration the ability to negotiate an agreement and then have to come back and say yes or no to something, which I think the Congress, unfortunately, would pass. There are unfortunately too many Democrats that will go along with this. We've just, in my hometown, in Flint, in Saginaw, and Bay City, it's just far too much for us to risk. We've been through this before, and we've seen our manufacturing base eroded to the point where we really need to rebuild it. This would be just too much for us to take. I think this could really spell trouble.
We're going to really be dealing with long-term unemployment if this goes through and takes the full effect. Because the other countries, if we do this, there's going to be 11 other countries who are going to go after American manufacturing, who are going to depress wages even further, outsource jobs. We're going to have a harder time getting people back into the economy. We're going to lose our competitive edge. This country will lose.
So we have to ask ourselves. We have to ask ourselves, why would Vietnam be interested in a free trade agreement with the United States? Is it because they want to be able to buy more American products? It's because they want to be able to sell the products that they're manufacturing there without constraint into our now open markets. Japan, why would Japan be interested in a free trade agreement with the United States? It's because they want to be able to sell even more of their Japanese-made autos. Only 4% of autos purchased in Japan by Japanese customers come from outside Japan. Do you think they're going to let that change? I don't think so.
Congressman Dan Kildee of Michigan, good to have you with us tonight. I appreciate you standing up on this. Thank you so much. Remember to answer